Hey, what's up, folks? This is Dean Jackson, your holistic nutritionist on YouTube. Actually, no, that's incorrect. This is Dean Jackson, currently on YouTube as the Lifestyle Channel. And on Instagram, you can find me at your, Y-O-U-R, holistic nutritionist. This is my initial foray into the meal prep video space because this is the hallmark of everything that I do, and it is the foundation for us to live a healthy, vibrant, amazing life by putting in the right food in our body, having a peace of mind and knowing that we made it and we know what went into it, huge, and to cook it in a spirit of love. That is so important because the energy that we prepare food with goes into the food that we make. And if we cook it and we're flat and our energy is down, that ends up being how the food tastes, flat and lifeless. So to cook it with love or prepare your meals with love is huge and vital to the process of us really being able to transform our health and well-being. And everything starts with the thoughts that we think and the foods that we put in our body and the words that we speak. So I'm really creating this conversation for people who've been disempowered in this space. So what I'll be preparing today is a asparagus recipe that I got from the Minimalist Baker. Credit to the Minimalist Baker on Instagram. Shout out to her. She's amazing. And it's a very simple recipe. It only takes like about 15 minutes, maybe 20 total prep time. And it's more of like a snack. This is not an actual meal, but this is something that can actually complement the meal that you're preparing. So let me get right into it. I gave you a little bit of, intro there because this is the first video. So that's why, I'm going to be talking a little bit more in this video as I get to the preparation aspect of things, because as I get more well versed in this process, I will be just going straight to the point and just preparing, having the ingredients laid out and preparing the meals. And also I got to acknowledge I can be talkative. So sometimes I may still have something to say that makes it a little bit longer, but I want to make sure I can get right to it and get you guys what you need. You can prepare it, be empowered, have something that tastes great to get you ready for your week at work or being at home as an entrepreneur, doing the work that you do in that way. Okay, so here we have asparagus. Yay, asparagus. And I believe one of the benefits of asparagus, I posted something on my Instagram page about all the benefits. Sometimes I have to look at my Instagram page just to remind myself of all of the benefits of the various foods that are out here. So basically you take the asparagus, which I just did. I unpack them and I put it in this bowl. There's a bunch of water in here to rinse the asparagus, right? And so then once I do that, then I take the asparagus, and again, this is the first video, so bear with me. This is what she recommends. You put it on a paper towel and you just pat the asparagus dry, so it's not so soggy to where it just takes up all of the parchment paper that you're going to put the asparagus on. And then the next step is going to be to next step is going to be to cut off the ends of the asparagus. Got your basic paring knife here. So what I'll do is I got to figure out. I'm going to pause this and I'll come right. Can I pause it? Let me see. I don't know if I can. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm still trying to figure out this technology thing. For a long time, I've resisted it. That's partially why I'm just now doing my first Instagram, or should I say Facebook, or excuse me, YouTube meal prep video. Okay, so here's this. Let me see if I can point the camera down so you can see more of what I'm doing. Don't fall on me. Okay, so I'm gonna angle it. Okay, so there's the asparagus that's on the paper towel that I'm drying. It's the second batch here. So I'll put that out the way. And then, okay, so I think you can get a good visual of that. Let's see if I can arrow it down a little bit more. Excuse me, bear with me. Ooh, that may be a little too low. Okay, hold on just a second. Make sure that's on there. Which it is. Okay, you don't need to see me. You need to see the mill VMA. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna chop off the ends as she shows you in the video. Okay, that's that right there. I'm gonna take the next batch right here. And the key is, well, I'll say one of the keys is to not eat up all your food after you've prepared it. I've had a tendency of doing that. And then I end up not having the food that I need for the week at work, which is why I was preparing it in the first place. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the ends off of this other batch that I'll be putting in there. And I've had to acquire the taste for this because I have typically not been a fan of asparagus. It tends to be chewy, and I never care for that about asparagus. And it still comes out a little bit chewy, but ultimately, just knowing that I know vitamin K, if memory serves me right, is one of the benefits of eating asparagus. And, you know, most of us, based on the standard American diet, are deficient in a lot of essential vitamins that our body needs for healthy cells. So any of those vitamins from A until B, C, D, you know, all of those things are tremendously important to help us stay on the path to having great health and being able to enjoy the fruits of our labor. Because you don't want to do all that work building a multi-million-dollar business or being a successful employee, climbing the corporate ladder, and not be around to enjoy all the work that you've put in to get to that point. So that's what this is all about. Okay, so take this and put these in the thingamajigam, the trash. And I'm glad I picked this recipe because it's simple. And I still have to figure out how to start editing videos on YouTube on this thing. And this is actually not even on YouTube. This is on my video on my camera on the phone. So I got to get to the other part of that conversation. So, okay, we got the asparagus, the ends cut off on the asparagus. What was I going to say? So the next thing is to get the parchment paper, and you preheat the oven to 450 degrees based on her recommendation. Now, because my asparagus is skinny, you know, a lot of times you get like, it's probably one of the fattest pieces that I have right here. Because mine is skinny, I dropped it down to 425. So if you get the thicker asparagus, you probably want to keep it at 450 for 15 minutes. That's what she recommends. So I'm gonna get the parchment paper and the cookie sheet, and then we'll go from there. Okay, parchment paper. Oh no, that's it right there. Do this so light stays on. Okay, so And this is what I learned too about the parchment paper, is when you tear it, you gotta lift it up, and then what you do is you tuck the parchment paper, this lip, you tuck that, let me see, I'll pull out a little bit more, make sure I got it covered. You tuck this down inside there. You might have pulled off too much. I guess that's all right. Is that how you do it? Yeah. And then you just tear it. See, that was a nice clean tear. But the key is, you know, like they say on the box, and always pays to read your labels from various points of view. Once you pull out what you need, you tuck this down inside there, and that kind of, I guess, presses it against that little blade to give you a nice clean cut so you're not wasting your parchment paper. So then you go, I'm gonna turn it like this. I guess you could turn it either way. And then what you do is you put your asparagus on here like this. That one's looking a little lifeless there. I'll still use the bottom portion of it. And then you go here and there. Damn, I just broke it. Okay, and there. There. All right. And that one's looking lifeless at the top too. Okay. And that's the one thing about it. When you get a big bunch of asparagus, you got to go back with like maybe 3 or 4 sheets of this fully laid out to use up the whole bunch, or just use half of it. I want some to be prepared so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm gonna make the whole thing tonight. I'm only gonna show you just this batch, just to show you the basic concept of how to make the recipe. Okay, so then she says the California extra virgin avocado oil. Now, I'm a big stickler on ingredients and what's actually in a recipe. And one of the things about this is that this is extra virgin avocado oil, and it's unrefined. That's very important. You always want to get unrefined avocado oil or unrefined coconut oil, you know, because in the refining process, something is lost in the way of the flavor profile or the nutritional content. So you always want to make sure that you get unrefined whenever you can. It's not cheap though. This bottle, which is like 8.4 fluid ounces, is and the light went off on me. Oh, okay, because my computer went off. It's based on my computer. So basically, it's 8.45 fluid ounces. This was like $13, so it's not cheap. So anyway, so here we go. You take it and you just drizzle some across the top. See if I can be more liberal with this, since it ain't cheap. And then you go like that right there. Ooh, damn, see? That's a lot of avocado oil. I did not want to use that much. Well, I'll be using this parchment paper again, I'll put it that way. All right, so that's that. And then let me turn it like this, because when I made this the first time, I missed this step, and this is really important. She said to roll the asparagus in the avocado oil. Basically, you want to bathe the asparagus in the avocado oil. Helps to coat it better, right? Matter of fact, let me see if I can get some more on here. so I don't have to do so many cookie sheets of it. And let me see, I'll turn that one, I have one upside down. I'll turn it like that. Okay. That right there, bada bing, bada bing. All right, and then you take the time to just kind of stretch them out like this here. And the one thing I will say, I always hated about putting stuff in the oven is when you got to take it out and turn it and flip it. The one thing I love about this recipe, you don't have to flip nothing. You put it in there for 15 minutes, and once it's ready to be taken out the oven, once it's ready to come out, it's done. All you got to do is let it cool off. And then you can add some lemon zest or some nutritional yeast, which is optional, but that's the other thing that she recommends in this particular recipe. And again, shout out to the Minimalist Baker, finally putting into practice all of the videos I've been watching from this amazing lady and the recipes that she makes. So let me put that all the way up there. Okay, and then, golly, I got all of that on my hands. See, this stuff is like liquid gold. It's not cheap. All right, I'm just gonna wipe it off on some of this other stuff so it doesn't go to waste. Golly, that was a lot of avocado oil. Just refine my skills with this process here. Okay, that'll have to work. And then let me get the sea salt and the black pepper, which is optional, the black pepper from her recommendation. So you just kind of get it on there as you see fit. I think that's probably enough. And then I am going to use some black pepper. If you can use freshly ground black pepper, that's always better. But in this particular case, I'm using, black pepper. It's organic, and that's always something you want to be mindful of too. Most of your herbs and spices typically are heavily sprayed with herbicides and pesticides. So whenever you can, get organic. However, the best thing to do, if you go to, let's say, Sprouts as an example, as opposed to getting their brand, just go to the bulk section and you'll get a better price on it, and just put it in a bag, one of the little bags, and mark it, and it's fresher, and you get a better price on it when you buy it in bulk. So this is something to remember. So I'll put a little bit of black pepper on here, and in the oven it goes. Okay, so is that hot? Is that hot? Oop, I think it's okay. Okay. It'd be nice if I can pause it and come back to the finished product when it comes out of the oven. And right now, I don't see a pause button on this doggone thing. I guess I should have checked for that before I started this process. But nevertheless, this is my first video, folks. Thanks so much for your patience and your generous listening. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to comment, feel free. I'm open to feedback on how to make this process smoother and more efficient for you and for me, because again, eating the right foods and preparing them with a loving heart and having a peace of mind and knowing that we know what went into it and where the food came from, ideally to start growing it ourselves, is where the real difference is made. So but yeah, just to finish, 15 minutes in the oven, and then after it comes out, then you can add your lemon zest and your nutritional yeast. That's what she recommends. I mean, if you like dairy, you could use regular cheese. If you can find organic and unpasteurized, that's even better if you're into dairy. And then the other thing is you got a nice healthy snack that you can just munch on throughout the course of the day, or take as a complement to what you're taking to lunch, or taking for lunch when you go to work. So that's it. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Check me out next time.